أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فسبحان الله حين تمسون وحين تصبحون، وله الحمد في السماوات والأرض وعشيا وحين تظهرون، يخرج الحي من الميت ويخرج الميت من الحي ويحيي الأرض بعد موتها وكذلك تخرجون. ومن آياته أن خلقكم من تراب ثم إذا أنتم بشر تنتشرون. ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة، إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم، إن في ذلك لآيات للعالمين. ومن آياته منامكم بالليل والنهار وابتغاؤكم من فضله، إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يسمعون. ومن آياته يريكم البرق خوفا وطمعا وينزل من السماء ماء فيحيي به الأرض بعد موتها، إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون. ومن آياته أن تقوم السماء والأرض بأمره، ثم إذا دعاكم دعوة من الأرض إذا أنتم تخرجون. وله من في السماوات والأرض كل له قانتون. وهو الذي يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده وهو أهون عليه، وله المثل الأعلى في السماوات والأرض، وهو العزيز الحكيم صدق الله العظيم.
And with the recitation of the Holy Quran by Al-Qari Hussein Rashid, we'll get the ceremony started now. First of all, let me just introduce myself. I am Mohammed Nashwan. I am one of the program managers for the Global Fund sponsored HIV Prevention Program at SHE. So we'll get this started off with first a reading of the agenda for tonight. First of all, recitation of the Holy Quran. Then we have welcome remarks by Mr. Arun Kashyap, official in charge of UNGP. And then we have the launching of Komme Kame Visvedan, a comprehensive analysis of HIV risk in the HIV risk in the Maldives by Madam Ilham Hussain. And then we have the keynote address by the chief guest, the Honorable Minister of Health and Family, Dr. Amnat Jamil. And then we have the presentation of media products. I will be doing the presentation. And then we have a concluding of the ceremony with the vote of thanks by Ms. Zaha Wahid. She's the executive committee member of Society for Health Education. And then we have dinner with live Bodberu. So let me call upon Mr. Arun Kashyap, officer in charge of UNDP, to give away the welcome remarks.
Honorable Minister of Health and Family, Dr. Aminat Jamil, Honorable Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Ahmed Ali Sawad, Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Mustafa Lutfi, Honorable Madam Ilham Hussain, Executive Member of SHE, Ms. Zaha Wahid, Excellencies, NGOs, members of the media, distinguished guests, my UN country colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to all of you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us. I am pleased to be here with all of you, and particularly Honorable Minister of Health and Family, Dr. Aminat Jamil, with all of the partners, with all you guests, this evening to launch an innovative mass media campaign on HIV prevention. The advocacy campaign, which will reach the country through radio and television spots, promises to send a strong message on a universal subject related to HIV/AIDS, and that is prevention. The HIV Huras Alhamaa, you'll have to forgive, I'm trying to use the Divehi expression, campaign as it is known, it will strive to make a significant contribution to the fight against AIDS by creating barriers to its spread in Maldives and by promoting respect, responsibility, communication and support in relationships and within communities. The United Nations Development Program recognizes that this is also in line with the government's priorities. As highlighted in the Strategic Action Plan for the Manifesto, which was launched last Friday, the media campaign will directly assist in meeting one of its most critical pledges, and that is prevention of narcotics abuse and trafficking. This pledge is particularly significant in fight against HIV/AIDS because needle sharing amongst drug users has been identified as the most at-risk group of becoming infected. More sadly, this age group of these drug users ranges from as young as 13 years to 26 years old, the age group that indeed is the future of this country too. The prevalence of HIV/AIDS in the Maldives is in an early phase. However, based on the knowledge of the behavior patterns that have caused HIV epidemics in neighboring countries, an increase in injecting drug use and needle sharing, frequent change and increase of sex partners, and unprotected sex would increase the national vulnerabilities significantly, and not only to HIV transmission, but also to hepatitis C and other diseases. In partnership with the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, UNDP Maldives is committed to supporting the implementation of the National Strategic Plan on HIV/AIDS. We do this by raising awareness regarding its prevention through evidence-based campaign, creating a supportive environment to reduce HIV transmission, HIV-related morbidity and disability, and the ensuing stigma for those afflicted in the country. In addition to assisting the government to mobilize resources towards meaningful intervention, the partnership emphasizes prevention strategies through primarily targeting those population groups most at risk, and that is the youth. Our partnership has also achieved notable accomplishments in the past year, including the completion of the biological and behavioral survey in 2008. It is the first major study that highlighted the potential risk for an HIV epidemic in the country. The survey confirmed the evidence of risky behavior among the youth, including unprotected sex and with multiple partners, group sex, and the buying and selling of sex. Based on the findings of the survey, the development of a behavior change, communication, and advocacy strategy has been designed to strengthen barriers and reduce the risk of HIV occurrence in the country. Simultaneously, intensive capacity development programs amongst various stakeholders, including religious leaders, teachers, NGO workers, have been organized across the country. Following up on the celebration of World AIDS Day, which had a special focus on youth and migrant workers, we have strengthened advocacy activities, of which the media campaign, the current one, is an integral component. Designed and implemented a monitoring and evaluation action plan so that we can better understand the impact of our activities, and conducted HIV information sessions amongst migrant workers. The information materials were translated into 4 languages for a broader outreach. Our experience has reaffirmed our conviction on the need for all stakeholders, including government, civil society, community organizations, religious organizations, workers, professionals, and other sectoral groups to work together to overcome the challenges posed by HIV/AIDS. In this area also, we've made a beginning. I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank the Ministry of Islamic Affairs for broadcasting on the 23rd of October, and as a part of Friday prayers, messages concerning HIV prevention. The broadcast was shared with all the mosques in the country. I would also like to express our gratitude to the Society for Health Education, Department of Drug Prevention and Rehabilitation Service, Center for Community Health and Disease Control, and National AIDS Program of the Ministry of Health and Family for their synergistic partnership and support in designing the mass media campaign on HIV prevention. While this is a good start, lots more needs to be done. We cannot afford to let a combined effort diminish in the vital area of prevention by creating more barriers to the spread of this deadly virus. And we recognize the challenges we face, the greatest of which is to transform behavior to lower the risk of HIV transmission. Our experience and success in other parts of the world convince us that while influencing people's behavior may be a complex task, it is not impossible. Tonight's launch of the national media campaign is a step that assures all of us that we are reaching an increasing number of population with compelling HIV prevention messages. We cannot stop here, and we need to be continuously creative in the use of available mechanisms to reach the at-risk population and with effective technologies and relevant messages. Given that the youth of today is technology savvy, we have to innovate so that we can reach them through communication media that keeps them in touch with each other, of which SMS, IM, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and there are several other which are important mechanisms. This also provides us imaginative opportunities to partner the private sector as an additional stakeholder in this critical campaign. The launch of Kanme Kamevas Vedhane today is a message of the evening. Anything is possible and anything can happen. But to achieve the desirable results, I would reiterate what I mentioned earlier, and that is all of us have to work together to create a partnership to tackle the formidable threat of HIV/AIDS. In this, all of us, communities and particularly the youth, are important constituents. It is by empowering them that we will be able to ensure that the Maldives continues to maintain a low prevalence of HIV/AIDS. I'm really grateful and thank you to all of you for joining us today, and we look forward to our partnership growing and achieving further successes in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Arun Kashyap, for those wonderful remarks. Now we'll go ahead with the launching of Komme Komme Visvedane. This actually is, as Mr. Kashyap has highlighted, is the comprehensive analysis of the HIV risk situation in the Maldives. And for that, for the launching, I would like to invite Madam Ilham Hussain and the Honorable Minister for Health and Family, Dr. Amnat Jamil, onto the stage. Thank you, Honorable Minister and Madam Ilham Hussain. With that, we will start with the keynote address by the Honorable Minister of Health and Family, Dr. Amnat Jamil.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening to every one of you. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Madam Ilham, friends, a very good evening to you. First of all, let me say that this is I think this whole environment is such a welcoming environment, I think, for those of us who's been working hard the whole day. So I must thank the organizers for having us in this kind of environment. Well, this is a very important subject which I'm sure none of us can ignore. Until very recent times in the Maldives, we have been very complacent about the fact about HIV/AIDS. But in the recent past, some studies had been done, and we know that there are some cases of AIDS in the Maldives. And it is our responsibility to see that this doesn't become a national pandemic as in some other countries. And I must congratulate the organizers and the supporters in having this campaign to create awareness among the Maldivians to see that with this HIV Huras Alhamaa, that campaign, I'm sure will be a success if we all can work together as seen in this today's event. Let me say that as I think Mr. Arun had just mentioned, this involves behavior change. And it is not an easy task to change behavior. I'm sure we all experience that. Once we are in a habit or a behavior, it's not very easy for us to be convinced in changing that behavior. So that same challenge is with us when we are embarking on this campaign. But I'm sure, with a dynamic force, especially with NGOs, this can be a successful program. When these kind of programs are organized by the government or the state, I'm sorry to say, but I think the impact will be less than when it is done by NGOs. So I do congratulate the NGOs for taking the initiative in this, and we assure you that from our ministry, we will be giving every possible support possible in this campaign. While of course we do talk about AIDS, especially related to drug use, IV users, I would also like to point out that AIDS can also be got through other means, especially use of safe blood, which is of course a concern of the Ministry of Health. So we, in future, I think in the campaign also, we could mention something about getting safe blood, especially when we have quite a number of thalassemia children among us. So AIDS, we would not like to get an innocent person infected with AIDS. So the safe blood also is an issue we could address in your campaign. The other issue I just made a few points to talk. I think there is a very good dinner waiting just in the hall. So this is not an occasion for long speeches, but I thought I would just mention that I think in the Maldives presently we are very lucky. We have got the technology, especially with the media. And it is right for us to take advantage of the media to have this campaign as wide as possible so that people in the islands can have access to. And I would like to, on this occasion, urge the media, TV, radio, and other, that's the state as well as private media, to support this campaign and give us time on the air so that it can be reached widely to the population in the outer islands. At the same time, I would also like to call upon other private entities to help in the campaign through their social corporate responsibility. Because I think when the people invest and get profit out of a business, each entity would have social corporate responsibility in combating such a problem as HIV/AIDS in any country. So also, I think not far away, we have the AIDS Day, that's the 1st of December, and I'm sure we would be again reiterating this same campaign to prevent HIV/AIDS, and I do hope that this also will be carried across to the wider audience, for instance, like the schools, because that's one of the targets, especially for addicts. So I think we should be also, and since the Minister of Education is here, I do hope that he would allow the campaigners to have access to the school, especially in the higher secondaries, so that they would also be aware and sensitized to the risk of having HIV/AIDS in their life. So let me not take much of your time, but before I conclude, I'd like to thank the agencies, especially UNDP, Global Fund, WHO, and other agencies for giving us continuous support in this, and especially to the NGOs for taking the initiative and showing that their dynamism in this kind of campaign. Thank you very much, and I wish you a good success in the campaign.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now we will proceed with the presentation of our media products, which will be aired during the mass media campaign. The aim of this campaign is to raise awareness and increase the perception of risk of HIV in the Maldives, and to motivate young people to adopt behaviors to prevent HIV infection. The target audience are young people who are at risk for HIV through unsafe sex, injecting drug use, and other means of HIV contraction. And however, since this campaign will be broadcast, it may be seen by any member of the community. The campaign identity, the logo, the theme, and the campaign visual style is integrated into all media and collectibles in order to create a strong and consistent identifiable message that is memorable and, most importantly, obtains the trust and confidence of the target audience. The campaign components are divided into 4 phases. Phase 1 is to increase awareness of HIV as a potential threat in the Maldives. Phase 2 highlights to increase perceived risk of HIV among sexually active young people and IDUs. Phase 3 aims to make condoms more socially acceptable by associating them with humor. And Phase 4 models social support by older Maldivians for condom use by young people. The TV and radio spots will be released in 4 phases, and now I would like to show you the spots by phase. The first TV spot, titled Dice, encourages the audience to take responsibility by protecting themselves and not taking chances in regard to HIV/AIDS.
with HIV.
The second TV spot of Phase 1, Paper Doll, aims to increase perceived risk of HIV from sharing injecting equipment, and it demonstrates that HIV can be spread through sharing even with trusted peers.
Me Harun were close friend. Come come with Harun Shako. Tiranje come ki wife ha Shakure vechikum. Muravis egg nede asal gadi.
Kashi syringe fadataket Shakuruma HIV fetere.
The next TV spot, titled Risky Path, demonstrates a common risk behavior for HIV in the Maldives, and makes people aware that these risky practices have laid the path for a possible HIV epidemic.
මීනෑ වනි HIV ජෙහිප එකමකො එකම මීනෑකා දිනයගේ තිමායි ගුළුන්හුරි මේහුන් HIV ජෙහෙපද කංකමුන් රක්කා තෙරකුරමා
The next two items in phase 1 are two radio spots. The first one is called Different Countries and is aimed to educate the audience on level of HIV in our neighboring countries, including the countries that are most frequented by Maldivians.
इंडिया का 3 मिलियन 4 लाख मिहुन HIV जैफवे
बांग्लादेश का 12 मिहुन HIV जैफवे
เมืองไทย 600,000 คน
थाईलैंड का हलक 10,000 मिहुन वनी HIV जैफा
ශ්‍රීලංකාවේ 4,000
ශ්‍රීලංකාග 3,000 මිහුන HIV ජීෆාවේ
Indonesia kita telah
इंडोनेशिया का 2,70,000 मिहुन वनी HIV जैफा
අහරමෙන් එම්මගෙන ගොසුලේ ගෞම්තෝගා මිහාරු 3 මිලියන වර්ගින මිහුන බණි HIV ජෙහිපා ඒ රාජ්‍යයේ ආබාදීගේ දිහකුණ මේ වෛරස් මිගම්තෝගා ෆෙතුරුගෙන්දා සබබකි HIV ජෙහිපද අමල්ත එමිහුන්ගේ තෙරේගා ගිනවමු අහරමෙන්ගේ තෙරේගාස් මිෆද අමල්ත ෆෙන්නන්ගේ බහුර HIV හුරස
The next radio spot, named Neighbors, informs that risk behavior for HIV puts you in danger irrespective of your background, profession or beliefs. The purpose is to enhance the perceived risk of HIV in the Maldives and to create empathy for people living with HIV.
ආරන් HIV positive විහෙමුක තෙරේක මිහාර මම්ම වණි නියාෆා ආරන් බලනි තත්ත
අහන්නකී බෝට් දතුරු කුරාමි ආරන් ගාග HIV හුරිකම් ඉගමුන් වරක් ගබුල් කුරන් දතිවි ඉතන් අරාමි හබර අහන්න කොළ එම්මෙන බස් දෙවෙනමයි
අහන්න ආහරන්ගේ කියන රට්ටින් HIV positive ආරමෙන් HIV ජහුනි ඒගේ මොළුමත් නෙංගෙ තියන්නු නම විසකම අලානුලවම
මීහකා එදගෙන් දරින් හොදුමුගේ හොෆෙමස් දුෂින් එකමකෝ එම්මෙ රේකසවුන් එහොෆෙන්ත විස්සි විහාලවගේ හිඟච්චි
මී ආරමෙන්ගේ අවට්ටර ගෞම්තකුන් ගිනෙන් ඉවේ අඩුතක මිමිහුන්න දිමාවේ ෆාවා හාදිසාතකකි ආරමෙන්ගේ දෙරුන් මොගා දිමාවේ දාන හාදිසායක නහදමාතෝ HIV හුරස
Now we have the TV and radio spots from phase 2. The phase 2 slides are a montage of scenarios created around a theme of if only. It depicts 4 principal situations which the audience can relate to. The TV spot If Only Man depicts the life of a young man which did not turn out as he hoped because he contracted HIV. The aim is to enhance perceived risk of HIV and empathy for people living with HIV.
දෙවනෙන්නවා ඕගාවරි බෑවරි ලිපුණු ෆහරුවරි බප්පෙගේ මගාම ලිපුණු මේ හැමගාමුස් ආරගේ දිරිළුම විස් එකමකු ආරණ ආරගේ නෆ්සු HIV ගේ නොරකලු හිමායත නොකරවුණු ඉංගේක බේනුම විස්නුයි අලේ විස්නු ලැබුණු මිහාර ආරෙන් ගොම්මියොත මියොනි වෙయ్యන් ඔඩේෆ HIV හොරස
The next TV spot around the same thematic depicts the life of a young woman which didn't turn out as she has envisioned because she contracted HIV.
අහරින් අබදවස් මසෙක්කේ කොරමන්දියේ කුරා කොම්මකමකුමස් එම්මෙ ෆුරියම කාමියාබී හෝදුම ಸಕರಾತ ಮಜಲುಗೆ ತೆರೆನ್ ಕಿಯಮುಗೆ ಫುರಿಹಮ ಕಾಮಯಾಬಿ ಹೋದಿ ಜಿಮ್ಮಾದಾರು ವೆರಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಗಾಮ್ ಲಿಬುಡು ಮೀಹಮ ಗ್ಯಾಮುಸ್ ಅಹರೆಂಗೆ ಹಯಾತವೀಸ್ එකමක අහරෙන්ගේ නෆ්සු HIVගේ නොරක්කලුන් හිමායතෙන් නොකරවුන් හිතකන්නාරා ඒ අහරෙන්ගේ ಜಿಮ್ಮಾ එක්කමක එකමක මිහාරු අහරෙන් දෙකමුග හෝෆෙන් තම්මි වණි ඉලාහක බදලුවෙ
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
The next TV spot is titled Drug User. Depicts the life of a group of young people who aspire to be musicians, but their dreams are shattered due to getting HIV from injecting drug use.
emme kuder surves harmennaki warak gang ekweri furta music kule fishi sakarata kina dosta kenwe amuge tire mashhur aharmen kur huriha kame ves ekuga hissa kore hitaka nara emme gang ekweriya majada sakarata benun kuri kashi benun kurumun HIV jehidana kama kuriga aharmennaki kamyab timmeyoge bende nama ves miharo aharmennaki tiri tiri bai HIV Huras Alhamaa.
The next TV spot, if only, depicts the life of an unborn child. Depicts the life of an unborn child would have had the mother not contracted HIV.
Mammaya bappaga hayata emme ufa welkan genes din duhaki aharem me duniya ufa viduas. School ak dang hibwal libuni gyang mabura diunu mammage oka teri unguterega ole vene kamuge yaginkam otu. Mammaya bappa fahuruweriwa dariyaka vim mi aharenge hayata vis ekamaku mamma men kujjaku hodumatta iyaru wimu eguni mammaya huri HIV jefaka ehemwe ahannam me duniye awmuge fursaten nolebono
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
Now we will follow up with the radio spots depicting the same thematic concerns.
ಅಹಣ್ಣ ಮರಿಗೆ ಫುರತಾನ ಫೆಣಲುಂ ವೆವಣು ಹಾಗೆಗಿ ಲೋಬಿಗೆ ನತೀಜಾಕವ್ವಿ ಉಫಾವೆರಿ ಜವಾಜಿ ಹಯಾತಿಗೆ ಫೆಶುಮು ಏಯಿ ಎಫತ ದೆವಣೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಓಗಾವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾವೆರಿ ಕෑವಣ್ಯ ದೇಹರು ವಿತನ ಲೋಬಿ ಫಿರಿಹಿಂ ಕುಜ್ಜಗೆ ಬಪ್ತೆವುಂಗೆ ಫಖರು ಅಹಣ್ಣ ಲಿಬುನ್ ಮೀ ಹಮ ಗ್ಯಾಮುಸ್ ಆಹಾರೆಂಗೆ ತಿರುಳು ಮವೀಸ್ ಲೆಕಮಕು ರಾಜ್ಯಂ ಬೇರಗೊ ಸುಳವಣು ಸಕ ಮಜಲುಗ ಹಿಲೆ ಅಂಹಣ್ಣಕ್ ವಗುತ್ತ ಹೆದೆ ಕೊರಣ ಹಿತಕಣ್ಣಾರ ಅಹಣ್ಣಂ HIV ಜೆಹಿದಾಣಕಮಕ ಲೆಕಮಕಣ್ಣಸ್ ವಿಸ್ನ ಎಂಗೆ ಕಬ್ಬೇಣುಮ ವೆಸ್ನುವಿ ಮಿಹಾರ ಆಹಾರೆಂಗೆ ಉಮ್ಮಿಯುತ್ತೆಂಬಿವಣಿ ವೆಯ್ಯಾ ಮೊಡೈ
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
ಫೆಶನಿಸುರವೆಸ್ ಗದಾಳ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಿ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆಕಮಕೊಮ್ಮೆಸ್ ಕಾಮಿಯಾಬಿ ಹೋದುಮ ಕಿಯವುಮುಗ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಕುರಿ ಹೋದಿ ಮೀಹುಂಗೆ ಲೊಯ್ಬಾ ಗದರು ಲಿಬುಣು ಜಿಮ್ಮಾದಾರು ವೆರಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬ್ಯಾದಾ ಕುರಿ ಮೀ ಹಮ ಗ್ಯಾಮೊಯ್ ಸಹರೆಂಗೆ ಹಯಾತವ್ವೇಸ್ ನಮವೆಸ್ ತಿಮಾವಿಕಿನ ಫಿರೆಹೆನುನ್ನಾ ಗ್ಯಾಗೋಳಿವುಮುಗೆ ನತೀಜಾಯ ಕವಿ ಅಹರೆ HIVಗೆ ಶಿಕಾರಿಯ ಕವ್ವು HIVಗೆ ನೊರಕ್ಕಲು ನಫ್ಸು ಸಲಾಮೆನ್ ನುಕುರೆವುಮುಗೆ ಸವಬು ಅಹರೆಂಗೆ ಹುವಫೆಂತಮ್ಮಿ ವಣಿ ದಿಲಾಹಕ ಬದಲುವೆಫ್
HIV Huras Alhamaa. Kuderu surves harmennaki warak gapay furta band hedi sakaraaje homa gina dosta kennuwe aamuge tere aharme mashhur wi e mashhur kama majluge tere drug ennu baroli gaves aharmen jehon hitakannara emme gang ekuriya mastuma peenun kuri kashi peenun kurumu HIV jehidana kama kuriga aharmennaki kamyab timmeyuge band namaves miharo aharmennaki tiriti mibai HIV Huras Alhamaa.
Now for phase 3, we mix in a little bit of humor to get the message across to always protect oneself. The TV spot Bollywood associates condoms with humor and Bollywood film industry, which is very popular within our society.
Huras peenum kuravage rakkatirikam kuude
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
The next three TV spots, coffee, classroom, and basketball, non-explicitly associate amazing abilities to protect oneself with condoms.
ನುರಕ್ಕಲಿ ಕುರುಮತಿ ವಾಕುಮ್ಮೆ ಫಹರಕು ಮಿಹೆನೆ ನುರಕ್ಕೆ ವೇಣೆ ಅವದುಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಗ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿಕಂ ಇಸ್ಕುರೆ
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
ನುರಕ್ಕಲಿ ಕುರುಮತಿ ವಾಕುಮ್ಮೆ ಫಹರಕು ಮಿಹೆನೆ ನುರಕ್ಕೆ ವೇಣೆ ಅವದುಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಗ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿಕಂ ಇಸ್ಕುರೆ
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
ನುರಕ್ಕಲಿ ಕುರುಮತಿ ವಾಕುಮ್ಮೆ ಫಹರಕು ಮಿಹೆನೆ ನುರಕ್ಕೆ ವೇಣೆ ಅವದುಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಗ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿಕಂ ಇಸ್ಕುರೆ
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
The next TV spot, titled Mr. Cool, portrays a fashionable image for youngsters to protect themselves.
Sally Pitte, Sally jeans. Wow, Sally hairstyle, Sally t-shirt. Sally shoes. Sally Anne.
ಎಮ್ಮೆಸಳಿ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿಕ
HIV Huras Alhamaa.
In this phase, we have one radio spot titled Prevention is Better that informs the audience that prevention is better than the consequences of contracting HIV.
කීකුර බේස් විහාරය කලේ දෙපදේකච්ච කන ගන්න ඒ මශකන්නු කරේ බේහෙන්නම ඕකේ
පුණන්ත බේස් කන පලිවිම් මදින් කුර රක්කාතරු මුහිමෙන් රක්කාතර කොහොදන් ලදුකුන්නා ගන්නු ජේනද
පුරස් පේනු කරවගේ රක්කාතරිකම් හොදේ
කොම්බේ ෆියවල යකින් කවායක
Here in phase 4, we have one TV ad. It models social support by older Maldivians for condom use by youngsters. This is to encourage safe sex practices with efforts to minimize stigma attached to condoms. The TV spot, Old Shopkeeper, encourages this through the TV spot.
කොක්ක තිබුණා හුරිහාච්චගේ බහුරි බේගතක මඩු කළා තින්ගේ මියෝති මීති රංගලමානේ කොක්ක බොල දෙන් කොගා අදි මඩු කළාච්ච මියෝති යස් වක්කායිච්චකේ අදි මඩු කළා තින්ගේ මිවස් මුහිම් වෙච්චකේ දැන් මියෝති අදි මියෝති කොක්ක බුණ බේගතක බහුරි රක්කාතරකම බේනුම් කුරා හුරිහාච්ච කොහොමද බේනුමි තිකමත්ත අවහද්දේ ජෙහිගෙන් උරි ෆාමසිය මිහාර කුදින් හාද රංගලේ අමිල්ලෙවස් බලාලෑගේ බෝලෙන්නු
උරස් බේනුම් කුරුමුන් HIV ಜಿನ್ಸಿ ಗುಳುමුන් අර එහෙනිහෙන් බල්ලිතකුන් ඩක්කාතිරි කොද්දේ
now we look at the education awareness items and collectibles and print media. The aim of the first booklet, designed for youth in Divehi, is to educate young people about the risk of HIV, clear out major misconceptions, and promote preventative behavior. As you saw in the slide, we have booklets specially designed for IDUs, which is to educate injecting drugs users on the risk of HIV transmission and to promote preventative behavior. We have booklets designed in expatriate languages, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Sinhalese, and Nepali, for migrant workers to educate them on the risk of HIV transmission, clear out misconceptions, and promote preventative behavior. Now we look at the posters for the mass media campaign. The posters were designed for injecting drug users and the general public to educate them that the risk behavior for HIV is common in our society and that the reasons that led to HIV epidemics in our neighboring countries are evident here in the Maldives as well. Now we go to the collectibles and giveaways. The branded collectibles and giveaways like CD packs, recyclable bags, flip-flops, and t-shirts are used to promote the campaign and its associated messages. These collectibles are to be distributed on the occasion of World AIDS Day. A sample collection of those collectibles are there for you to see. And with that, we conclude the major segments of tonight's events, and I would like to respectfully call upon Ms. Sahar Wahid to do that all-important vote of thanks. Ms. Sahar Wahid.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Health and Family, Dr. Amnat Jamil, Madam Ilham Hussain, Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Mustafa Lutfi, UN Country Team, Officer in charge of UNDP, Dr. Arun Kashyap, dignitaries, members of the UN Country Team, representatives of NGOs, members of the mass media, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this important occasion. On behalf of Society for Health Education, let me thank all of you for gracing this occasion with your presence today to witness the launching of the mass media campaign for HIV prevention, HIV Huras Alhamaa. On behalf of Society for Health Education, I also wish to thank the Honorable Minister of Health and Family, Dr. Amnat Jamil, for being with us amidst her busy schedule. Her address clearly demonstrates her support and commitment towards developing preventive interventions to reduce the risk of HIV in the Maldives. Our partnership in the Global Fund supported program is indeed an excellent example of how the state and civil society can collaborate for the betterment of our country. I would like to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to you, Madam Ilham Hussein, for gracing this occasion and for the launch of the Kommekamaka Vesvidane. It is with much appreciation I take this opportunity to thank UNDP, especially the Global Fund Program Management Unit, for their unstinted guidance in the implementation of the Global Fund supported program. I am grateful for Mr. Abdul Hamid of the National AIDS Program for his assistance, support, and the encouragement given throughout the formulation of the mass media campaign on HIV prevention up to its launching tonight. Thank you. I would like to express my gratitude to the Ministry of Islamic Affairs and NGO Journey for collaboration with us by giving intellectual input and contributing to make this campaign a campaign that focuses on the need to provide Maldivians with access to accurate and compelling information. I am indeed grateful for Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Education, Department of Penitentiary and Rehabilitation Service, Bangladesh High Commission, Maldives Association of Construction Industry, Society for Women Against Drugs, who readily contributed over the past years in the implementation of the activities of this project. The Global Fund supported program is indeed a success because of your invaluable assistance, and we hope to continue to collaborate in future endeavors. Dr. Barbara Franklin has been an inspiration to this project. On behalf of the Global Fund supported program, I thank her for the leadership and cooperation and for being an indispensable and valuable friend to the project. I'm very sorry she could not be with us tonight. A very special word of thanks to Domus, Fahud Studio, and Visual Media for the distinct and innovative media products they designed for us. We are grateful for their professionalism and flexibility during our work together. I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to Hub Events for organizing the event and making the launching of this program a memorable one. Distinguished guests, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling months before and required planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of the Global Supported Program at Department of Drug Prevention and Rehabilitation Service, Center for Community Health and Disease Control, she and UNDP who knew that job. They have been much focused and result-oriented. No adequate words of thanks can be expressed to each and everyone for their involvement and willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones in order to make the launching of this campaign a reality. Once again, I thank you all for your invaluable time. I am confident and hope that this campaign in the Maldives will encourage and enable the creation of an environment of prevention, especially amongst the youth, migrant workers, and IV drug users against HIV. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Zaha Wahid. As she mentioned, an event like this does not happen overnight. It took a whole team to get this event all operating smoothly. And on behalf of that team, I would like to thank two individuals for taking a very, very lead role. That would be Ms. Nada Ibrahim and Ms. Ramsha Abdul Sattar. If you could stand up. Come on, stand up. And now, the moment most of us have been waiting for. We conclude tonight's ceremony with dinner and live music. Thank you.
We are Sida binu muntaza ನೂರಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡೆ ನೂರಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡೆ ನೂರಕ್ಕೆ Bazuarune, Yellow Moriga, Bazuarune, Bazuarune, Yellow Moriga, Yellow Moriga, Bazuarune, Yellow Moriga, Yellow Moriga, Yellow Moriga. Bazuarune,